Welcome back, guys. This is Henry1502 Inc. I'm back. Please click on every ad in and around my videos. I get some money for college. You guys get some great ads. You just have to look at it. Maybe 30 seconds at the very most. Now, we're continuing with how to make a website, and it's very simple, but I want to tell you guys to go back to your index page, and instead of naming it sections, just take out the S and name it section 1. And we'll create a new file and save the file inside the includes folder. So what this section will pretty much be about, it will be this empty space right here where we're just going to add the real content. Now you guys have to make your own, get your own images. Right now I already have images that I have in mind, and make sure you save them in the folder called images. I'm pasting them right now. Yeah, you can get them online, or you can just take a picture. It doesn't really matter in this case. Make sure it's big enough. We don't really want small, really small pictures inside this website. But anyway, let's dive right in. So create a class, and you're pretty much going to name it sections. And then you want to call up the image tag, name the location, the file name. Okay, so let me stop. This is the image tag, ing. Tells your editor that we are working with an image. SRC basically means where to look for. Where do we look for? Like if you want to go to America, okay, where in America? Let's say New York. Where in New York? So on. So this is where the location is. Images is the folder that we want to look in, and this is the file name. This is the extension. So it's a JPEG. If we have a PNG picture, we would just put PNG. If we have a GIF, GIF, so on. But what we want to do is expand upon this. So we want to alter the height of this image as well. I generally like to give it enough space so I can really see what's going on. We want to also change the width to 51%. And we're going to create another class, but this time we're going to name it H group. If I don't keep messing up, we should be good. Okay, so we're making a header tag. Now the reason why we're making a header tag is it's somewhat going to be like a newspaper. Not really, but you'll see what I'm talking about really quickly. But create an ID and name the ID header 1. We're keeping it really simple for right now. And what this header is going to say XC Youth Camp, XC Sport Youth Camp. You're going to use the HR tag, which is basically like a line, and we're going to style this. We're going to work on the position and make sure that it is absolute. We are going to work on the width. Make sure it's 50%. The top, make sure it's 15%, and the border, 2 pixels, solid. This is a custom color, so you want to copy this or change it to whatever you want. 3EF3D47. and make sure you have a an apostrophe to really close it. And we should be golden. We should be golden. We're going to create a paragraph tag next. We're going to insert an ID inside of this paragraph, and we're just going to name the ID P1. Now, instead of typing everything out on the screen, I'm just going to copy and paste it. So here it is. You can either copy this by pausing the video and copying it, or you can create your own text. We're going to create another header 4. We're going to give it an ID, and we are going to call that ID header 2. Make sure you spell it right. And I thought I would add this, but you guys don't necessarily have to add this. I just thought it would look a little bit more professional. And we're working with CSS right now. We're switching over to CSS. Okay, so down here, what you generally want to do is dot section, okay, position, absolute, border top, not border, border top, 0 pick. Now remember where I told you I like to see visually what's going on? That's what this border top is all about. 20% for the top. For the height, make it 80%. For the width, what you want to do is make it 100%. For left, what you basically want to do is set it to 0%. And let's check it out to see how this is all coming along. Notice how it's all over the place. That's only because we haven't really set limits to it, limitations to it. This is what the HR tag does. It creates a really basic line. It can expand all the way across, but I limited it to try to make this symmetrical. So yeah. Next, we want to work with the image that we have brought into HTML, and that can easily be done just by using absolute left. Set this to 25%. Top 0%. Refresh. Okay, that's a little unexpected. I forgot to give this an ID. That is why. Refresh. And there it is for right now. I don't know why it's so small, but hopefully it will turn out the way that I wanted it to. So moving on to H group. What I'm basically going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste this because it's somewhat the same code, and I just don't feel like retyping everything constantly. So yeah, see, like position's the same thing, but what I want to do is get rid of border top. For left, set this to 25%. For top, set this to 65%. For width, set this to 50.6%. And for height, just set this to 28%. And if you guys wanted a border, well, not that border, just set this to 0 pixels on solid blue. And we have our basic H group right now. So we're moving on to header number 1. Position absolute top, top negative 15%. And the color, we are using a custom color. So remember that color that I said before? Yeah, it's that one. And for paragraph number 1, position, oh no, not padding, absolute left, come on, 62%. And what you want to do is you want to change the top to 75%. And make sure you don't have a $sign. And for color, we are using the same exact color as this. So let me just copy and paste this down here. And we can wrap this all up just by changing the header to header 2. Position absolute left 62%. Top 75%. Color custom color again. Okay, so when we refresh the page, something is off. Okay, so I went back and revisited the code, and it turns out that I did make a few mistakes, and I did go astray from my previous completed tutorial. So mistake number 1, for right aside in CSS, change 120 pixels width to 160 pixels. Mistake number 2, there is supposed to be top 15 instead of left 62. So make sure you change P1 top 15. Change that to top 15. Now you have to go inside of, section 1 to really see a few other mistakes, such as for images. You have to change, I forgot to put the percentage, so that is why the image was so small. 50%, 51%. If you don't put it that way, your HTML will basically think that you are asking it to turn it into 50 pixels, which is not what we are going for at all. I misspelled absolute for the HR tag, and yeah, that seems to be all the whole problem. So when you refresh the page, you should get something like this. Notice that it's clean, it's really spaced out, and the last thing we have to add is the footer. Yeah, add, like, subscribe, comment down below, click on every ad in or around your video and in or around my videos. I keep messing up. Comment down below, could I have done anything better? What do you guys think about this tutorial? This is Henry1502 Inc. I'm out.